Okay. So I got a buzz on my thing and it was telling me it was a copyright thing, which I don't see how it is a copyright thing because it's 60 minutes. So anyway, go and look up this video. I don't even know who that is. Um, Hold on a second. Go and look up this video on 60 minutes. And I'm going to tell the story because then there's no copyright. So it's called The Man Unknownly Buys Formal Plantation House Where His Ancestors Were Enslaved. 60 minutes. It was done 4 days ago. Okay. And it was posted through 60 Minutes 4 days ago. So basically, what I was doing, I was showing the story of this family, how this black man went and bought. Okay. Hi. Went to go buy this house. And he does not know why he was buying this house. He was drawn to buying this house. Now, in the video I did beforehand, I had talked about Mary Turner. And some of you that are my followers on this channel will probably be saying, why am I talking about this? Because it's something that needs to be healed, because it's something that can no longer be pushed underneath the carpet. And I'm sorry, if you are not this color, you have no idea what it's like. You don't know. So the reason why this popped up for me, I'm like, hmm, that's just on the fringe of everything that I just said in my other video about people, whatever someone has experienced in that timeline of enslavement, that healing is coming through. That healing has to be done. And that's something that is coming through, not just for myself, but for a lot of people of color right now, melanation. And it's something that needs to be healed. We can no longer just kind of brush it underneath the carpet anymore. We can't just say, "Oh, well, that just the way the system is." No, we can no longer ignore these things. And so for this story, and I really found this story fascinating because here he is, he's looking at this house. It's a beautiful house. And it was already previously owned by a white family who had lived there. The guy was born and raised in this house and had known this house. He moved out. His sister owned another house further up the road, and he lived down further down the road from this house where he originally grew up in. And here it is, the history of the house, as this man who's a black man just looking at the house to buy it because he wants a bigger house in rural Virginia. Okay, he wants a bigger house for family gatherings. But something was bothering him about buying the house. Hey, darling. Hi, darling. And something was bothering him about buying it, but he knew he had to keep buying. He had to buy it. So I got in a little bit of, because I was showing it on here, and I wanted you to see the one part. I had to delete it because YouTube would have been like, "That's copy infringement, right?" It's on YouTube. So anyway, as I was saying, it's on YouTube. I'm really confused about YouTube. YouTube, you guys got to get your stuff together because some of your stuff you say does not make any sense. If this is on YouTube and I'm on YouTube and I'm sharing a story about 60 minutes talking about something, what's the problem? I don't understand how that's a problem. Especially if it's snippets. So anyway, I'm done with that. So anyway, they buy the place and they start digging around, because his last name is Miller. And they come and find out, long story short, the reason why he bought that house is because ancestral, he was connected to it. This house had his ancestral connection. not just a DNA thing, but a full on like family bloodline of enslaved slaves there because when they were slaves there, the owner that had it had like 56 slaves or something, but never wrote the name of the slaves. But they had to write if there were any live births in documentation of births on that land. And that's how they found it through Samuel and found Violet, who was also on that property. So I thought the story was so profound because this is what the good part was. And it was said this way, and this is what I really, really resonated to. And this is why this is important. Not just on a African American thing, as enslavement thing, but think about this, and I want you to think about this hypothetically. So this is important on that part where you always feel like something of you is missing. Okay, like there's there's a part of you missing, but you can't put your finger on it. You can't figure it out what it is. And the one thing that was said in this interview, which was done very well, was the family after they discovered they are literally connected to that land that their ancestors, grandmothers and grandfathers that is a part of their line were on that property. This is where that energy comes in, and it 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 made them feel so like, oh my God, how could we have been connected to this house like this? It was like so profound. And I thought the story was done really good because it was really awesome. But at the same time, it was this the words that were used was, I feel complete. I feel complete. Like my ancestors got us here to show us. I feel complete and I know where I started from. And then they had the question of where were the slaves buried? This is the part that kind of gets me. So the slaves were buried at the big orchard of the trees where one of the brothers went up to this tree and saw this big oak tree and says, oh my God, you have been here at the time when my great great grandmothers, grandfathers, all of my kin were here. You were here. And he hugged that tree. He says, all I could do was just hug that tree. He just couldn't stop. He had to hug that tree. And then the previous owner of the land says, well, the slaves were buried just beyond those trees. So they go through the pathway and they're expecting to see bigger tombstones, but they don't. All they see is these little pointed rocks, some formation rocks that are forming the headstones of the slaves that died on that property. So, long story short, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because there are so many of us walking around fractured in time. We're fractured in timelines because of the fact of something traumatic that has happened, and we we feel like parts of ourselves are missing, all from something historical that has happened. And to find part of your lineage where you come from is huge because there is going to be a massive healing. Now they could choose to go either way. Okay. You can choose if you were someone that got this home, like, he talked about there's a couple times he got upset because he was like, how did I end up in this house? But then he said, but hey, I I'm in this house. And then the mother, the great grandmother said, it's like life came in full circle back to us. Now we own the house and the land. So imagine, yes, it's the missing pieces. It's a missing, and this is why I was so intrigued when I was watching it. And I said, "Oh my God, this is following up from part two of what I just talked about, with Mary Turner and what happened to her." And YouTube, come on now, you got this stuff all over YouTube up here. So the interesting thing is, I talked about the tragedy of Mary Turner, what happened to her. And I was talking about that not just from a melanated skin person point of view, I was talking about that from a woman point of view. How many healing women, women of seeing ways, were hung upside down and lit on fire? That they did that with us, and also during the witch times, lit on fire at age 21, and then a pitchfork because you're 8 months pregnant in your belly and your baby falls out, and then they're stumping on the head of the baby. Now, do you not think that woman, like I said in my other video, cursed every single person that was there? And now, if you really look at timelines and energy, it does give us an opportunity to go back and heal a tragedy. Or we can go and repeat a tragedy. Let's look at the Holocaust. Look at that. So, we as human beings have this innate thing of trying to catch that loop to make things right, to heal it. But we keep missing a time to capture it. But it's happening in little glimpses. This family is going to have a great healing now because they're going to actually bridge what happened to their ancestors. And now their ancestors are going to be at rest because one of them came back to the land, coming home. So, how many of us are out there walking around fractured? A lot of us are. A lot of us are fractured in timelines that holds the past of what is currently happening to you right now. And you don't know it because you didn't go digging further back to see where it comes from. Where did your illness come from? Where did your addiction come from? Where did your hate come from? Where did it all come from? Where did it start? Because you got to go digging in the past. Because there's a reason why it's showing up right now. There's a reason why it's there. There's a reason why you make a connection to a house and you don't know why the hell you're buying it. And then you come and find out, oh, well, hell, it's connected to me all this time. That's how profound this whole thing is. Yes. Where does it come from? Where does that anger come from? Why do you have it? So many people, and I can speak and have testimony in this on a day to day basis. So many people are born through the womb of what has just happened to you inside that womb. Was your mother in trauma? Was that mother being threatened? Imagine, just imagine for a split second what that baby was experiencing when he or she knew their mother was being killed, murdered for nothing, just because she was melanated, hung upside down. Imagine what that child felt like and all that terror and energy that came into that child. Imagine that, that trauma. What trauma did you experience when you were in your mother's womb? What was going on with your mother? What was going on with her? What happened? What made you feel like when you came out of the womb and look at your life right now? What made you start feeling the way you started feeling in your life? What caused you to do drugs? What caused you to become an alcoholic? What caused you to hate yourself? What caused you to not think you were worthy? What caused you to be suicidal? What caused you to be depressed? What is it? Because this is where the digging is. This is where the root energy is. And once you find the root of that, and you're brave enough to go hook into it and look at it for what it is and say, I understand, I see it now, that's when the healing comes in. These people, through a house, got a full circle healing. And that's what it's going to take in United States to hold a healing energy with all the people. Because we all have karmic soul contracts that need some healing. There's no way around this. There's no more pointing fingers and doing this stuff. That no, we are not children's anymore. We are either gonna look at this and heal it or move past it. And obviously, I normally don't want to talk about things like this, but you know what? Today must be that energy day because I'm not anger. I'm very passionate about the fact that there's a lot of us, and it's not even just a race thing. Like I said, there's so many of us walking around fractured in timelines, not just here. You're fractured in dimensional timelines. And you got to go in there and go do the work. Because think about this, the Hawaiians, as well as the African ancestral heritage of healing themselves, have this tradition belief that our spine is connected to our ancestors. So there comes a time when you really have to step back and you have to look at it. You are the healer, you're the one holding the line. What is it that you need to heal? Because I tell you what, to watch that family go through their great experience, and then for the I think the older daughter to say, or relative or sister to say, I feel complete. I don't feel like there's a half of me missing anymore. I know where I started from. There's a lot of us that can't say that. Still searching. We're still searching for ourselves. We're seeking for ourselves. We're looking for ourselves. And this is where the anger comes out. And this is where that depression and anxiety and all of this comes out because you're looking for yourself. You're not going to find it in the drugs. You're not going to find it sedating yourself in alcohol. I watched somebody for 50 something years do that to himself on a daily basis. And often ask myself, why do you do that to yourself? Grow up with that. You're not going to find it hiding and just keep going. Sooner or later, you're going to have to stop and face it. Because isn't that what healing's all about? Yes, absolutely. Got to find that root. Absolutely. And this also makes it true for when you fracture in timelines, okay? In timelines. Keep that in mind. Your soul lives on. Your soul never dies. You're a complete energy person. Let's just get that concept down in physics. You're just energy. You are temporarily in this body, your temple, your home, your body, temporarily to do this thing called life. But when you're in that mother's womb, a lot of us take on that pain and don't know why. And I've worked with too many clients to see this storyline of why are you depressed? Why do you have Crohn's disease? Why do you have this? Who in your family had that? That's how I start going down the timeline and following, and I start to see your picture of what's going on. And I'm looking for a mother, a father, grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle. I'm looking for that. Who had this? Who had what? And then boom, when you find it, then boom, if you get the past life flash of a year that comes up with that, that's an extra bonus. And I've seen this work that had gone in and just helped someone get to that timeline. Let's clear it. Let's forgive it. Let's no longer hold the energy. Let's no longer consent to it. Let's break that contract and let it go. Can you imagine what this family right now, because that was only 4 days ago when it came on 60 Minutes, 4 days ago. Can you imagine what their lives are going to be like right now? Can you imagine? How many people are walking around with an unended story? How many people are walking around knowing something is not right because they don't know themselves? So, hey, beautiful souls. Hey, it's all about that love. And yeah, this is Be So Light. And I come on here and I say it right. I say it like it is. And a lot of people don't like that. Sometimes they want me to be like, no, I'm not going to do that all the time. Sorry. Gotta say it like it is. um, but you do have to go back to the past. Why are you an unhappy person? What's the story? Who told you that? Why are you depressed? Why are you not loving yourself? What happened in your timeline, your bloodline, your DNA, your ancestor? What happened that you're carrying right now and don't even know it? You just think it's some kind of problem you have. It'll work itself out. You'll grow out of it. Well, my dears, if you're beyond 22, beyond 30, and it's still there, you're not growing out of it. You got work to do. So I just today, I'm very, very grateful and very humbled by the fact to understand why creators bringing that up. I'm like, what is this now? And when I heard about the shootings of 10 um, black people that was in, I think it was it in Virginia at Tops? That was sad too. But I couldn't go into it. And sometimes we just get beyond the point. It's not okay. But on a deeper level, when it comes to healing anything as a being, as a human being, the past holds the key. And sometimes you got to take that key, go to the past, and open that door and allow yourself to either embrace it, forgive it, and no longer consent to it. And just say, be done, and move the hooks and cords. Whether person, place, thing, or situation. That's what my work is all about. And that's what everybody's inner work needs to be about. Yes, 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 yes. I there's been a lot of things happening. I don't know if a lot of you are paying attention to, okay, now, if you're on this channel, I have to say it the way it is, but it's going to get a little bit more intense, just a little bit more, because you're being activated so you can function on these higher dimensions like we're supposed to be. We were supposed to be doing this eons ago, but no, 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 no. The bad ones had to interfere with timelines. So I want you to think about this. When you get those flashes and creator comes in and tells you something, or you see or you feel, that's because being, and I want you to think about it. This is how we're getting so upgraded. Think about this. Okay, the earth is this beautiful sphere, and there's this light that covers this earth. That's the aura. Now, what makes you think that people sitting around thinking about doing lower things or stuff, you're not going to pick up on that? Because as mother breathes, as she moves the air and the water, she's sending messages in waves. You just happen to be a frequency match to get that information. The trees, oh my God, the trees. Have you seen the trees lately? Have you seen the towers of the light coming off the trees, going straight up? Fucking amazing. It's really, excuse my French, but it is. I mean, just go down the roads and just kind of look at the trees, and you'll start like in the center and just follow it, and you'll see their light going straight up. Not like it used to. I mean, it's phenomenal. So just get ready and stop being afraid to go in and do that last work. You said there was going to be 3 more. Yes. 1 in LA, 2 more in LA. Spot on. It ain't done yet. It's not done yet. Because Florida, I don't know what's getting ready to stir over there. For some reason, they're keeping that last. But Florida's got some weird something going down in Florida. So I said LA. Okay, someone just informed me LA, New York, Utah's on that list of energy. There's something going to be taking place there in Utah. I saw that one. But Florida, I don't know. It's not going to be like a. It's too cliche to say water. It's going to be something big. They ain't gonna save that for last because they after somebody. That I know for a fact. Energetically, it's out in the ethers. And because it's all about timelines, like watch the movie Time Cop. That shows you right there. Time Machine. But Time Cop is better because it shows you how he went forward in time to change something, came back. They doing that. They time traveling back and forth, doing all this stuff. Oh, I saw what they were gonna do on this day. Okay, let's head it off. Oh, I saw what they're gonna do on this day. Okay, let's head it off. So this is how this game is playing out. But what's happening when you keep jumping in and out of these timelines, you cause a ripple effect. You cause a ripple. Okay. And from what is being said, two same matters existing cannot exist in the same timeline at the same time. They can't touch each other because then they absorb each other and then it becomes no more. Had another dream. I found a person who the person I embraced and traveled through the space for the time. It's been crazy. Yes. Um, I've been put on a timeout for my space travel time because I got in the head person's face about it and said, "You need to tell the people." And I just like, I don't know. Me and my dragons had a little bit of well, so, and I was politely put out on timeout time. And I said, fine with me. I needed to take a break anyway. You know, I needed a rest. So I haven't been in the ethers doing work, but I have been in my temple that's in the seventh, the eighth, ninth dimension, which is the Galactic Spiral Light Temple for healing. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess that's what you get when you're on a timeout behavior adjustment thing. Because I'm sorry, I'm just all about everybody has a right to know and stop telling lies. I can't stand lies. I just can't. I can't stand lies. I just, it's one thing to just fub a little story, but it's another thing when you constantly lie to the people and you falsify the stories and you keep lying and lying and lying and lying and lying, 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 lying. And you lie so much that everything becomes so convoluted. So yes, I feel like I'm going crazy. No, you're not going crazy. You're not going crazy. It's the energy, you guys, is so strong. It's so strong right now. And it's the kind of energy since that portal of that lunar eclipse opened up, it was one of the darkest red moons ever. And because how dark it was, that's how much blood was going to be spilled. There's a reason why they call it a blood moon. Okay. Um, so we're not done yet. It's not done. It's not over. So anyone that's doing healing work, this is why it's so important. If you've been struggling with something and something's been bringing your spirit down and you've been hurting yourself and sedating yourself, this is why it's so important for you to heal yourself because you're needed. You're so important. You're so needed right now. And, you know, everybody's needed. And everyone is going through it. Everyone is going through the stuff. People from your past are showing up for no reason. No, I am sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. I know. Yeah, it's heavy. But here's the deal, everybody. You have to smudge, you have to really take care of yourself. And this is we're now in the fight for our light. Okay. And that's just the way it is. That's what we're fighting for. And I find it really interesting how everything that needs to be healed is going to be coming up to heal. Because once you heal something, the frequency goes through the roof. Imagine this. Once people acknowledge the fact they did somebody wrong and they actually go and correct it and make it right, frequency goes up. Once somebody actually takes and says, I am so sorry for the way I treated you, I apologize, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, frequency goes up. But you have some people that walk around and act like they did nothing wrong to nobody. It's okay for the way they act. They don't hold themselves accountable. It's a energy timeline that needs to be healed. And if we all just get in there and heal it, even if you don't know where the person is, just simply just saying, "Hey, I'm really sorry for the way I treated you or whatever I said to you that offended you. Please forgive me. I just want you to hear that." Just thinking of them in a soul essence, they will get that. They will feel that. Okay? So, I'm going to wrap this up now. And I just wanted everybody to just go check that out. It's 60 Minutes, 4 days ago, Man Buys Plantation. It's a beautiful story and it's so connecting. And it's that energy of knowing where you come from and history. What is it like to find somebody of your blood connected to you and you never even knew them? And what great things they've done. Became writers and artists and someone big that developed something to heal the world or to heal people, or they became this doctor that found the cure for this, or what are you connected to? Because you are part of that puzzle and you're part of the lineage and why your ancestors want you to keep going on. There's not a black thing, there's not a yellow thing, there's not a red thing, there's not a white thing. It's a soul thing and a soul lineage. So, what do you need to heal? What do you need to do? All right. Generation trauma. Yes, we are going to be moving a little bit deeper now. I'll come back on and talk probably later this weekend in preparation for June 6th of 2022. Yeah, that's going to be a heavy energy. Yep. Yepper. Yeah, go look that up. Type that into your phones. Type in any type of June 6th. Um, like you have to do like 2004. You have to do like one that's like anything that adds up to that year, that last year has to add up to a six. And you'll see all kind of crazy stuff. All right, I'm feeling much generational trauma. You got to go in there and do that work. You got to go do it. Yep. You're purging. Crying is a part of purging. Get in there, do the work because you need it. You got to let it go. That's all there is to that. It's time to do it. And you got to mean it for yourself. Cells aren't dying, it's the cellular memory that's dying. But I'll put some post up in the Facebook group and do some work there, okay? All right, you're welcome. All right, everyone, that concludes this. YouTube, I hope you're happy that I deleted the other one so I wouldn't be in problems with you. Anyway, got to say that to the YouTube AI people. Anyway, everyone have a wonderful evening. Be good to yourself. I just don't care. I'm all about helping the people and making things right. I could care less about AI. All right, everyone, be good to yourselves. Be so light. And that's a wrap for this segment. That's going to be a 4, 3, 2, 1. Many blessings to all of you.